All right, let's roll.
Hey everybody, welcome back to X's for Show, your premier media response show where of course we're always talking Drag Race on Sundays. You guys can check me out, Nico, at Nico Action, NICOACTION.
Hello everyone, you can follow me places at Peak Jonah. Oh, I'm also Jonah. Probably should have said that first.
I'm TK. You can find me at TK Accidental.
That makes me Tori. You can find me at SM Tori. That's Tori with an I.
And that makes me your producer, KEVO. You can find me at KEVO Really. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment so we know what you want us to cover in the future. We're in week 2 of the new season of All Stars, and we're already through a bracket.
Yeah, okay, week 2, episode 3. I gotta break in for a minute though. If you had only 3 weeks to shake your shit, would you have packed what Deja packed?
What in particular are you referring to? I liked her little outfits this
The
week.
makeover, you like them?
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't think they looked
Snuggle
like
buddy.
family, but I thought that's cute.
Okay.
I love that. I thought they looked like ugly, and so they came from the same. I thought they came from the same ugly family, which I was cool with. No, I mean I'm just being a little shitty because one of the things that I think is really important to note, TK, you hit it so well earlier today when we were talking. Unbelievably, it feels like so many of these girls came in without the awareness that this is just 3 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and it feels like the show technically knows, but we don't know what this is the first time we've ever seen what that means. And one of the things I was talking about is every week on a standard season of Drag Race and even on an All Stars with standard eliminations, most likely most girls are not going home. Only one of them is going home. The chances are that you're not going home that week. And of course, you know, that's a statistic that doesn't bear out the same way as other statistics because the reasons why you're going home are varied, but it's usually only one person, occasionally 2, but it's probably only one person. So you do bring stuff and have this hope of there's a pretty good chance I'm going to get to show a bunch of this. And of course, some people are taking risks and that won't pay off, and other people are taking risks that will have huge rewards. Everybody got guaranteed 3 episodes, but then we immediately lost 3. And this whole time we always knew 3 of these people were essentially not coming back. They might get the special pick from the pick me from a judge, but it's
Can't wait to get into that.
It's a weird format, and we just don't. This is why I wish it was not All Stars. I wish it was Drag Race Tournament and a separate show, because we just don't know what that means. The strategies are different. I can imagine, Deja has been vocal about being upset about the drop of episodes and, how that means that really she only got 2 weeks worth of airtime. She also kind of indicated by saying that she was upset about it that she was not getting the rest of the airtime. That one were a bit of a bummer, but I get it, because some people, you packed for All Stars 8 and you got to show every single thing that you had. All winners, of course, that we can kind of get it, because you're not going to get those girls back if you're not saying to them, don't worry, you'll have plenty of airtime. You won't have shown up for nothing. But this is it's new rules. And I think everybody it's just going to take time to figure out what it means for the audience, for the production team, for the queens. But this became a week where, the thing I was talking to you about is if somebody starts doing well, like if you are Irene and Bosco, I mean, once you do well 2 weeks in a row, the story just starts writing itself.
Irene, who had won nothing on her first challenge. Actually, she did win the main challenge, her first episode in season 15. She did win that photo shoot. She looked great. But Irene the Alien, formerly Irene Dubois, Irene the Alien, who has only failed on a main challenge, won 3 main challenges in a row and 2 mini challenges. She literally won everything she could, outside of 2 lip syncs, but regardless, she still literally did what she needed to do. She is a tour de force.
Yeah.
honestly, it's extremely impressive considering this bracket. Because I think this is one of the. I don't want to say the other brackets are uncompetitive, but it feels like this is the maybe. I feel like some of the girls here are the most hungry for wins. Just based off what I know about them, and to see someone kind of demolish her first 3 episodes after having such a bad first episode, her first go around, it is so impressive. It truly is. Like, so Irene, if you see this, like, congrats, mama. That was like, you really did that. You really
We've
should
been
be
waiting
proud.
for this for years. Yeah, I completely agree.
It really became like I get that it's really difficult to make exciting reality TV that's just exciting based on the challenge and based on people plying their trade and doing their skills. That's why we end up having stupid fights about nothing, because those screams and those silliness, and if the girls are great actors, that's a lot of fun and it's silly to watch. Irene's sweep actually is one of those things that, like, coming from so low, it really was the drama of watching her succeed. Kind of the last thing I can think about that has a similar ring to it is Bendela sweeping her All-Stars season, which of course ended the way it ended.
I
But
assume that
Seattle
Irene
girl
will
either.
also self-eliminate.
The Seattle girl.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
they will give you the drama of their skills. And again, this one, Bosco having Bosco did really well in her season, but I think there's always that question of what is a post-transition queen's package going to look like, and what's their life going to be like, and what's their philosophy. And we're getting a double dose of that in this bracket.
Yeah.
And the last thing I just want to quickly say about Irene, because we can talk about her more, but it's the fact that not only did she win 3 challenges, arguably none of them were like a production stunt. Nothing was done for story. She arguably did win 3 challenges, not only by her own merit, an objective skill-based challenge of throwing free throws. She won.
Yeah. And I think she's also giving us, for all that she's like tossing out little shady comments and all those kinds of things, she's not actually out here stealing anyone's work or trying to actively ruin these girls. And I think that is lovely and wonderful, considering where her drag daughter spent this past season.
Yeah, she didn't even accidentally spray paint a garment.
Mm-hmm.
I am KEVO, by all means.
Well, I was going to say, and I think that the thing that I'm feeling, the skill she is most going to need to learn from this experience is working with other girls, working as a team. She's not even bad or anything, but she can come off a certain way. And I think she just needs to learn how to smooth those rough edges to be part of the team or the fraternity that is Drag Race.
Sorority.
Yeah.
Sorority.
When you think about how this season bracket is starting to play out, I'm like so amused that this bracket had 2 musical numbers, and it had, what was the middle challenge? Oh, acting.
Was it improv?
Improv, yeah.
Now we already see that next week has a ball, but one of the things is this episode, it wasn't just a makeover. It was a makeover, a write your song, a perform your song, choreograph it, make it funny, give that girl a personality. I mean, some of these girls were literally the miscongeniality joke of Dirty Harriet. And like, at the end of the day, they turned them all into like delicious little sundaes. And like, I super enjoy it, but like, this was not a makeover challenge. This was a makeover, song, minor acting. They've really stepped up what it takes. So I wonder how involved every final bracket challenge is going to be.
And we've noted and commented on portmanteau challenges before where they've sort of mashed things up in one challenge. But the fact that this was a makeover challenge that also involved singing, where you had to write your own lyrics, and that they all did so well, I think that is what I am so blown away by. Because normally if you do something like this the first time, you don't really expect as much. But wow, anything that they do like this again is going to have a lot to live up to.
Yeah, I would say that this is one of our most successful makeovers. Not only do all of the girls they made over look look excellent. They all look fantastic. But it really felt like there wasn't like any girl that was particularly like barely doing the choreo, barely following the runway. Like they felt very in it. And I was really excited like to see these basketball women who do have that competitive edge, so they know about pressure, they understand you learned something 5 seconds ago, now go put it out on the field and do it your best. Like they were ready to go. And I think even if maybe their personalities weren't as big as sometimes we get in our makeover editions, they were so in it that I really enjoyed the runway and really enjoyed a lot of these song moments as well.
And Nico, I think go ahead, Jonah.
I just wanted to quickly add, I love that all these first off, shout out to all these basketball girls, shout out to you girls. Not only are you look like phenomenal and stellar athletes, love basketball, you guys did amazing. Nobody did bad. I think everybody for the most part felt great. I can tell maybe one or two of the girls were a little more nervous.
Yeah.
But I really hope they look back at this as something that proud and like fun and exciting that they got to do, because I don't think they would ever imagine they got to do this if you told them at a different point. And I love that they're going to get a check every month for streams for the music.
Good job, gals. Good job.
Get that 13 cents, ladies.
Get those 13 cents because college doesn't pay its athletes at all.
Well, they pay them in scholarship. Maybe.
Until you get hurt.
Nico, I was thinking about what you said because I really like the idea of like ultimate challenges for, you know, let's do a bunch of stuff. And my only thing that's what they did, but they didn't call it that. And they were just like, it's the makeover challenge. Oh, also here's 8 more things to do. And I think packaging it as like, hey, you've been on the show, you've like toured around the world, you have a whole career, we're gonna put it all to the test today. You're gonna do a makeover challenge like, you know, like you've done before. You're going to, and as part of that, you're going to you know, do a choreographed song and dance number. I'm not gonna sit and pitch all the other ones, but like there's a lot of stuff you can do that is, you know, it's multi-level. And
so where you have to design your own fragrance.
I mean,
even a musical where
Ivy.
But no, it's true. Like back in the day, like they were like, okay, you are going to go do these girl groups. You also have to make your outfits. You are going to go do that book cover. Well, now you're going to learn how to bind a book together and how to market it.
You know, we're being like funny and playful about it, but like the first in season 1, episode 2, that girl group challenge, one of the prompts of it was you need to have a signature makeup style, and everyone's makeup needs to look exactly the same. I will never forget Chanel color coding the face, telling everybody this is what you do.
Yeah,
this is what you're doing makeup using this color because she is that bitch.
Yeah, but you can't do bookbinding because these girls can't sew.
I don't think any of them know how to read either, so we also have to deal with that.
Glue can be a problem too. Let's be honest.
No, but she's hosting the show.
Yeah.
Glue.
Take that horse out back, turn it into RuPaul.
It's a book, Glue.
That's what Raven does every week.
Okay, save us.
I'm definitely worried that the next bracket's third challenge is just going to be like a challenge. You know, like it's just going to be like,
yeah, what's left?
It'll
like
be their
act.
act.
Of, like cool Happy Meals, and then you just get like one of the Ronald McDonald ones.
Yeah, like it's just maybe it'll just be a girl group challenge, and like sure, maybe they'll who knows, but like because we have just seen that we're not starting with the next group doing the same challenge that the last group did. We're now, and we talked about this off air, like we're now talking about 2 things. One, did you get put in the wrong bracket because you absolutely would have succeeded? You're a total seamstress and you are not even a bad actor, but not as good as 4 other girls on your bracket. So if only you had been in the other bracket, you actually might have succeeded. And on top of that, it's feeling like the format is Drag Race episodes are happening and we've dropped you into them rather than we've tailored the episodes and the challenges to the fact that this is a different format. So I'm not saying that the next group's third challenge will be lackluster. I'm just saying at this point, with the makeover challenge happening here for this group and seeing they're starting with design challenge next
Yep,
time?
they're starting
Yeah.
with design.
Right. Rather than, a very weird acting challenge. I don't know, what if they don't do an acting challenge? What if they don't do an acting challenge at all? What if they do, 2 design challenges and then like girl groups?
So not to bring it back to Drag Race Draft, which we've created,
Yeah,
but one of the things that I noticed is that based on what these 3 challenges were, they covered what we categorized as uniqueness, nerve, and talent. And so if we wanted to sort of play with that, like they could have like they could do a rusical for one of the brackets. They could do I imagine Snatch Game is probably gonna wait for the end, but you don't know. They could just
They could do two. They could do Snatch Game in a bracket and then do it again when it's all 3 teams narrowed down. We're not here to tell them they can't.
Right. So like you could do choreography. We could do. They might do the RuPaul Live again.
Well, so on that topic, do you think that this group got the girl groups, the next group will get the Rusical, and the third group will get the Snatch Game? Because I kind of feel like if I'm a hot bitch, and I'm a hot bitch.
You are.
And thank you. I am a hot bitch. Week after week, I stand up here and tell you I am a hot bitch.
I'm a hot bitch, and you are.
If I'm a hot bitch and I'm like, okay, I want to be hot, and Rue is like, great, what are you hot at? And I'm like, girl, I'm a Rusical girl. They're like, great. And then the next girl comes up here and it's you and you're a hot bitch and you're like, hi, I'm Jonah, I'm a hot bitch and I would like to do the Snatch Game. Great. And so then KEVO comes up here, he's like, hello, yes, I am also fellow hot bitch. And Rue is like, great, I've given away all the really good challenges. You get bookbinding. Like, can you imagine, like, each one of these girls wants to be here and do one of the meme ones. But, like, there's only so many meme ones. There are only so many memeable challenges.
So there's a component to not only the limited number of episodes that a girl is given, but yeah, in fact, the challenges that they then have to miss out on.
Yeah, because the first 2 challenges, at least for group for bracket 1, you can give any group a song to do, and you can give any group an improv challenge. But this was specifically a makeover challenge, and are we going to have another makeover challenge? That would seem a little weird. It also feels weird to be doing a ball with only 6 people. I'm surprised it's not just a straight up design challenge, just a regular one with whatever theming they come up with. It feels weird that they're doing a ball here, and what if someone on bracket 1 wanted to do the ball?
Yeah,
because it's about serving 2 amazing looks that you get to bring from home, and a third look they want you to craft there. And if someone's like, putting the look together is my thing, like that was part of nothing of this challenge.
Do you think
any of these challenges?
Do you think anybody from this group walks ballroom? Do you think anybody from this group? Do you think anybody from
They might have brought it up every episode.
Do you think that she?
No, but I don't think so.
Me neither.
Do you think they were perhaps warned what their challenges would be for the opening? I mean, fair play is questionable no matter what when it's RuPaul's Drag Race in the first place. But do you think that they were perhaps given an inkling of the challenges that they were going to be given so that there wasn't an expectation of, I have my Snatch Game ready? No, you fucking don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible, but would it matter if they were just given their, like, again, if you're Olivia Lux and you're told these are my 3 challenges, once you've already agreed that you're doing the show, and you don't necessarily know that pink and purple are getting challenges that you would be good at.
You're not finding out unless you make it, or afterwards where you're like, oh, did you go to summer camp this summer?
Right.
And if you're metamorphosis, you never find out.
Yeah.
But things like if they knew that they wanted to give bracket one the makeover challenge, they would specifically tell them, "Hey, you bring a matching."
Right. They had to tell them they needed the outfit.
Things like, "Oh, we're going to be doing a glam rock, heavy metal kind of challenge. Like, think of a look that inspired by that." They don't. As much as a reality show will want to do gotcha moments to make people look like fools on cameras, go and act a fool, they don't want people to come unprepared because that looks a lot more worse on them.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And
That's
as
a really good
Bosco pointed out, they did at the very least know days before they started filming and even doing their entrances that they were doing the song. They had to write and record the song 2 days prior. The whole scene of them writing their lyrics in the workroom is completely fake.
Then how did the girls record their part?
What do you mean?
Wait, which song? The makeover one?
No, the opening.
They got him like, how did the basketball girls get together and write these numbers?
Same.
The winner chicken dinner. They knew ahead of time that they were doing. So the scene of them writing lyrics is fake. They had already written and recorded their lyrics at that point, which kind of makes the whole thing extra funny.
Well, if you have lyrics, you ain't got to write lyrics.
Exactly.
How it is. But yeah, so I mean, like, there's going to be various levels of preparedness, but then of course the question is, like, at what point are you like, I know I'm missing challenges where I probably would have done really well.
Yeah, it makes me in my dream of dreams, hopes of hopes. They sent out a little Google survey to all the girlies that said, "Hey, if you would pick your top 5 challenges,
and then
tell us
all the other ones the ones that were not in their top 5."
And then they said, "Fuck you, bye-bye."
These people feel like forms.teams.com people to me.
Survey monkey.
Speaking of people who flew around the stage, it would be a mistake not to give some absolute circus credit to Irene for the effort she put in, the clownery into the movement, the performance. I came into this excited for Irene. I was glad that she did well the first 2 weeks, but I maybe thought, like, she did well, I don't get it. I get it. This was off the charts. This was absolutely your Barbaras from your Rosalinds. This was amazing.
The evolution of Susie Toots.
You beat me there.
Oh, I should have let you. I should have let you say it, Tori. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
But like, you know, she could have known.
Corey too?
Yeah, the evolution of Corey too.
Corey Toot.
That was a really good impression of Corey too.
That was really good.
Anyway, Jonah's correct. We saw this 6 weeks ago.
Not like Irene would have known.
No, they wouldn't know. I'm sure Michelle was holding her tongue of, goddamn, it's 2 of them again.
It's like really the summer of Jennifer Coolidge on Snatch Game.
It's really insane that Susie is the queen from Florida and Arietti is Irene's drag daughter from Seattle.
Yeah.
You could flip those two and the world would feel much more on its correct axis.
Yeah.
I do see that.
No, Arietti would be too strong if she was Roxy's daughter. Too strong. We'd all have to take cover.
Oh my God.
Where I also thought that this challenge kind of revealed the girls that had it and the girls that had something else. Phoenix deserves a spot on a drag up your life show. If there were a show where people who have always wanted to do drag got to do drag, Phoenix should be one of the mentors. Her patience, her kindness, not that her girl was uninterested, her girl was nervous. And Phoenix just put in a level of incredible effort that really made it feel worthwhile that she looked like Madonna cosplaying Jennifer Coolidge at Tori Amos's wine party.
Oh, I thought she did great. And I thought, honestly, her makeover girl looked more like India Farah than India Farah does.
Yeah.
It was uncanny.
At this point now, my pitch is Drag Race Masters. For your over 45. And like, I say
Drag
this with
Race
elite, like give it a good name, but I say this with a lot of love. For, the queens whose faces voluntarily or involuntarily have changed significantly and who paint for being significantly older, and the way that your face changes as you get older, as you regularly do fillers, as you regularly do Botox, versus if you're Olivia Lux, that's not your concern, and you don't. I keep talking about Olivia because I think she's amazing and she's beautiful, and I do think she got a tough rap this season. But so many of the girls from season 6 and before are 40s and 50s. Raja is about to push 60, or is she over 60 now?
No, she just turned 52.
52, yeah.
She's only a couple years older than Bianca.
Oh my god, this is me and Shea Coulee.
This is me and Janet Jackson.
Oh my god, Janet Jackson was like 75 and on the verge of death.
Tempest de Jour, I can't even imagine at this point. Kasha Davis. There are some really old queens in the mix, and it's especially the season queens who really work, who have been out of the Drag Race limelight. The way they're going to engage with the drama is just going to be different. Like, I when I say they're not hungry for it, I don't mean it like they wouldn't love success and do anything for it. I mean it like when you're 40, you stop thinking like, the way I'm going to get there is that I have to be willing to throw myself with this kind of energy. That's what they look for from a 22-year-old. Everybody would think it was embarrassing if I was 40 and screaming at other girls like this. Where's the competition for all these incredibly seasoned queens? These people have careers. I mean, Phoenix just keeps talking about how she's been working the whole time.
So what I'm hearing is the next spinoff that we are going to pitch for Drag Race is a Golden Bachelor level
Yes.
Drag Race competition for more seasoned queens. Drag Race over 40.
Drag Race Gold
Crown.
That's why I said Masters. I like Tori's Elite because
I love
That's Miss Continental.
Yeah.
Platinum something.
Yeah.
Drag Race A lot we can do with this.
Yeah, well, our next bracket is going to have our good friend who is 51, Miss Nicole Paige Brooks.
No, she is not. Parts of her might be 51, but the average of her parts are like 17.
But again, that's my point. When you start adding on those parts that age you down, it's very different than when you just are Georges.
She looks younger than Carrie, and that's not a strike on Carrie.
Yeah,
No,
for all that I'm a Bianca. For all that I'm a Bianca fan, I follow Trixie's mode of painting a little more closely. And she often talks about how she's like, it doesn't matter what I look. These shapes are going to be these shapes for the rest of my life. She's like, I never have to worry about what my face is doing because I just paint on a completely different one every time.
The fact that Nicole Paige Brooks in drag looks the exact same way she did over like 15 years ago at this point is kind of insane.
She looks like Chelsea Peretti.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of does.
Mm-hmm.
Where was I going with this?
Nicole Paige Brooks
Nicole
is
Paige
maternal.
Brooks,
She is siphoning youth from younger
mother.
people.
That's why she.
No, you're right. But I found it very interesting because when talking about Phoenix being one of the older queens in the room, one of the older queens of the franchise, we didn't get what we usually get when an older queen steps into the room, which is sort of a more motherly figure. While she did sort of take Deja under her wing and treat her and give her that extra oomph to keep going. We didn't get kind of that feel that we got from Jaylene Time in Canada this past year. So I'm very interested because I'm under the impression Nicole Paige Brooks will not be mother for the next few weeks. And so what does that mean when the old girls are just as scrappy as the new girls?
And Nicole knows how to fight.
Well, can I just say that I sometimes think that at 39, it's something that KEVO and I talk about a lot. The Golden Girls, which is probably one of the things that I can speak the best on in this world, the Golden Girls in the first season, the implication is Rose is 48. In the pilot, Rose is 48. Dorothy is 50. Mm-hmm. This is the implication of the pilot of Golden Girls. And when Kristen Davis, who I'm sure most of you recognize from the female tour de force series Melrose Place as Brooke, teaching all of us that there should always be a lifeguard on duty unless it's time to kill Brooke. She assumed that the Golden Girls were in their 70s and 80s in the pilot, and was
You could not have.
horrified.
You could have told me the same. I would have bet on 60, just because Sophia is there, and the math doesn't math if they're 70 as well.
Sophia
Well, yeah, there's a
is-
lot of crap
yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Well, but then there's this whole other
Ah.
thing where like the timeline is all wrong unless you invent like a dead baby. It's a thing. But so the whole point that I'm trying to drive to is that we associate age with one thing, and it really is a very different conversation when you think about the fact that the Golden Girls, don't get me wrong, it's my favorite show of all time, but they're not maternal. They are scrappy and they fight. And sometimes at 39, I have felt like an old man, but I'm telling you, nobody tells me to feel young, vital, cool, and sexy like TK, who is just about the same age and is like, why would you fucking feel old? We were somewhere today and somebody said their age and I was like, he's younger than us. And TK is like, I told you don't look like a shoe. And so like, I felt so much better. And you know, I think one of the things that I find funny is Trixie likes to come into the conversation and be like, girl, I'm an old woman. I'm so old. I have to tell you, I imagine Nicole Page Brooks comes into the conversation is like, bitch, I am so young, my pussy's gonna eat you. And like, that is just what she is. And like, it is about the flavor you bring. Are you, God, no. No, she's not 34, she's 50.
No.
Oh, this is tough.
That's the point I even want to make. Think about how we've thought Steve Martin is ancient our entire lives because of the white hair, and Diane Keaton has been
Steve
ancient our
Martin's
entire
fine.
lives. This perception of what old was in the 90s really fucked with our brains, and we've really struggled to recover since. And like the realization that the hot and Cleveland bitches are the same age as the Golden Girls really messes with your head.
Do you know how old Frasier's supposed to be?
Oh my God, like 34?
No.
He's 29. He's 29.
On Frasier?
At the very beginning.
No.
No,
Cheers.
wait, hold on. I'm looking at Cheers. They're showing me 27. 27?
27. I thought it was
At the very
29. Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
Wow.
On Cheers.
That's crazy. But, you know, in the reverse of that, they look at me and go, and especially like something like Netflix, go, yeah, Jonah, you can play a high schooler.
Yeah.
You're a freshman.
Yeah, and that's the other side, is that we had a bunch of people who I would call 50 who were 33, but then we also had 14-year-olds who were 33.
So, you know, we get all sides of the spectrum. I'd like to give a special shout out to Deja.
Yes.
I really think I know she didn't win any challenges in these episodes.
Oh.
But I do hope she feels, and I know she's. I want her to feel entitled to her feelings about the entire thing. But I hope she feels proud, because she kind of came in and really kind of showed what kind of a delight she is. I think she would be fantastic to work with. She seems like just such like a good time, positive person, and seeing her be vulnerable, talk about her own anxiety, talking about just feeling like she can never be enough.
Talking about like something we've both gone through is we've both been less than fit, and now the two of us are, you know, the flex bros, and like that's a thing that we did. But Deja literally talks about going through that physical transformation and not feeling stronger for it on the other side, not feeling more empowered, not feeling more beautiful for her body, but for realizing that her body didn't make her more beautiful. That's brave. Like that is the definition of brave to share.
And she truly is a fantastic performer to get to see live. So I really hope at the end of the day she does feel proud of this. I hope she does eventually get to find the happiness that, and she knows that, like, hey, you know what, I didn't win, but I did a good job. I did good.
She had like a lot to lose. TK, no, you go, because I'm just gonna keep feeling bad for Deja.
Yeah, Deja's a weird one. She just didn't get the Alyssa experience, but is an Alyssa type character. Like, her vibe is so, you don't need Drag Race, you are such a spectacle. Like, even just watching her doing her makeup, talking shit about the show and the bad timing of her episode placement, she's somebody I almost never enjoy watching the girls do those. It's just not for me. I'm just not somebody who wants to watch somebody's live. I like to when I get tea and like if there's gossip or anything, like there's news, I love that, but I don't care who's saying it. It would not matter to me what queen it was. I'm just trying to get I just like gossip. But Deja is somebody who I really like. I have always found her so charming, just sitting there talking. She is really funny. Again, I just think that I was born at a very young age bit that she kept going. It's one of the funniest bits in Drag Race history. That especially just comes out of nowhere. It's not for a challenge. It's just her making the girls.
No, it is. It's for the episode 2, the commercials, the fake super trailers.
Oh,
right, but
God.
She's doing it in the
workroom.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that challenge. They should. That challenge would have.
No,
gone,
they do need to bring that.
That one's so good.
They cooked very well with that one. They need to bring that one back.
I think that was the beginning of RDR Live. I think that was them testing RDR Live.
She's just a great character, and she hasn't. There are girls that don't luck out in terms of getting the spotlight. I do hope she does, because she's one that I would be so excited to see her show. I would be so excited to see her do characters and stand up, and I really root for her.
It's gonna sound really weird, but Deja is somebody who I would like literally see like act opposite puppets.
Yeah. Yes. No. That's like
she's
it's a
that
perfect
powerful.
example, and because she's funny too, and like her opposite Muppets, like like people that are supposed like something that's supposed to be funny, like she would give herself 100.
Like she's got that John Tartaglia bit. She's got that,
exactly
that fullness, and I want to make sure we have a little bit of room to talk about a lot of the girls that we're saying goodbye to, because there's only one other girl that we're saying goodbye to this week. But I don't know, Deja, Liv, and Phoenix, you guys gave so much to this Babysitters Club. I just wish I got to read your California Diaries, and now I will stop making Babysitters Clubs in California. Did you read California Diaries?
Of course. How do you think I know
the basis of my adult personality?
Oh my God! Unlocked.
There's. All right. Well, not everyone was a
Good for you,
12-year-old
girls.
girl in 1999,
I
so
can't-
let's
He was.
let's move on.
So grateful. Thank
We'll
you.
talk about it later.
Only because she's on screen. I know you talked a little bit about her before. I do just want to say, Phoenix is again. I hope she feels proud of this. I can't imagine doing, for her and Nicole getting back on here over a decade and a half later to come back to this again. And she even talked about, and I think one of the interviews, that the entire vibe of the show is completely different. They had nothing of the sort, and to re-enter yourself into the fandom in this way, to re-enter the show, to do all this, I imagine there must have been a lot of pressure and a lot of this idea to want to do well, to want to showcase no, I was a second out, but I can do so much better. And this time competition is tough. It's one of the hardest competitions you can do, I think, just as any entertainer, not just specifically in terms of drag, but Drag Race specifically asks for so much compared to something like Big Brother or Top Chef, where you just have to be a chef. So, and I think she's someone who maybe doesn't come as alive on camera, but from what I hear about her, she's fantastic in person. So I really hope she capitalizes as much as she can to know that no, people do want to come out and see her. She is this entertainer. She is this amazing host. I really hope she gets a lot of that.
I mean, she was so chill about the whole thing, even not doing well, not placing very high, she was totally chill. She kept saying I've been working the whole time. She's one of those some queens come on and it's queens who also have been working the whole time, don't get me wrong, but they'll come on if I don't get this, if I'm not doing well, I failed, or I'm miserable, or this is the only way I'm gonna make money. Phoenix kind of came on I've been working the whole time, and I took a couple weeks off to do this, and when I leave I'll just go back and work.
She was unbothered by her temp assignment.
And I sort of I love that, only because it just, in terms of controlling your image and keeping your head held up high, it really just means that nothing can phase you. And you know, I'm here really trying to keep the energy up Deja, because I think I want Deja to have a career like that where she's not worried. But I understand why you were like, TK, talk, otherwise I'll just be sad about Deja, because Deja's vibe was sort of like heartbroken about this. And Phoenix, who did worse, her vibe was like, okay, I'm just gonna go back to work.
It's so funny when you think about that sort of behavior, because like we often can apply that conversation to something like traders, where those people, they have another way to make money. They're not worried about it.
So many of the people on traders are just like, oh, I didn't actually care. I'm literally just gonna leave and go to a different
I just
hotel.
wanted a vacation.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave Scotland and go to a different hotel, and I have a brand deal. Like, I'm shooting 3 TikToks tomorrow, and that'll be the rest of the paycheck that this didn't cover.
Catch me in the Poppy commercial.
Yeah.
So that's
a throwback.
A throwback. So the thing that I feel like just putting out there for a moment is a lot of these girls had something to lose. Olivia had ground to lose. Deja had ground to lose. The person who actually had the most to lose, like, and I mean this really beautifully, when a person is brave enough to transition in front of the world, I would like to think that enough of the queer community is going to beat up the rest of those idiots, that we're going to champion someone like Bosco, that we're going to make sure that she feels beautiful in her new life and that she knows that we support her. We don't need her to come back to All Stars to let her know that we support her. She made an announcement and gave us the opportunity to love her. And that's like something really cool. And on the other side, there's the occasional Trixie who makes a line of cosmetics so successful that Rue was like, I can't afford her anymore. There's Shea Coulee, who is going to be a regular on Ironheart, and don't you fucking forget it. There's plenty of girls who find ways to get back into the spotlight. Aja has made so many fucking mistakes publicly since she has done anything that a bunch of us clapped for, that if Aja came back and spilled juice on her shirt, we would have been like, she's too stupid. She can never be on TV again.
She's smiling.
She is my favorite. She is my absolute favorite girl here. I root for her to win the most. But Aja is one of those lover or hater people. She is the Yankees. She is the subway. She is rain on a day when you're already in a bad mood. And she is all of those best things. She is getting on the subway with your best friends after a night of drinking, having a great time. She is the Yankees. She is the team that you're supposed to root for. And yeah, you kind of want to. And you know what? When you're in a bad mood and you're already kind of like, and you go outside and you see it's raining, you're like, the whole world feels me. I am a king. She can be the best version of the weird, dark moments in her past. But my goodness, on that stage, when she was pouting that she wasn't going to win, I was like, Mama, you are 2 seconds from Alaska offering $10,000 after taxes. And I really need you to stop pouting on that stage when you are my number one bitch.
I adore Aja. I want to let other people talk about the really fun moments that she had this episode. But I think there were like 2 of them between the way that she treated Olivia and the clap back to Michelle. This moment, this is, first off, props to whatever cameraman caught this and framed it this way. This is gorgeous. This is a Renaissance painting.
That is the Wicked poster.
Yeah.
You can't storyboard that almost.
No,
you can't
no.
make them line up that well. You know?
No, you can't make Aja give that face. You can't give Olivia doing this stage.
Oh.
I adore Aja. I think there was just a lot going on for Aja personally, that some of it we were privy to, some of it we were not. And I think maybe there were some emotions that maybe came out in a way that were communicated one way and were received a different way. And I really, from what I've seen, in a very beautiful way, people have done a very beautiful 180 on Aja to be like, no, she is great. She is amazing. We love her.
She's the best.
And you can tell, especially on this season, there's a difference with the way Aja is able to carry herself. And there's a difference with the way that she is able to feel comfortable and be herself. And I think part of that was her internal identity struggle with her gender. And now that she was able to transition, I think we are seeing this level of Aja where we get to see this such an amazing, fantastic performer who now has the confidence to be who she is. and that's my favorite thing about seeing her here. And I'm so ecstatic that she gets to move on. I really am.
And you know, you're right. She is not a rainy day. She's No Rain by Blind Melon.
You have to stop hitting the word "be" so hard with this outfit, plus then the makeover outfit with the wings. I mean, come on, what was she doing?
I mean, go for it, Tori.
I'm one of those for whom Aja's drag is not my preferred favorite drag to be an enormous fan of. I think she's extremely talented. I think she showcases skills that we don't get as much on Drag Race, because I think please correct me, but we haven't really had too many people from the ballroom scene come in who are as involved as Aja is.
The only other person to my knowledge was Mariah Paris Balenciaga, aka Mariah the Face, because Mariah used to walk face. But performance-wise, I believe Aja, and Aja didn't even specifically start in the ballroom scene. It's something she adopted a little bit later. I do not, other.
Oh, did you hear? I don't know if you heard, but Olivia Lux started to be in the ballroom. I don't know if you heard, but Olivia Lux is in the Olivia's in the ballroom scene.
But anyway, I don't have as much connection to the ballroom because it's like one of those like dazzling things where I'm just like, it doesn't even compute that it would be something that like I do anything other than ooh and ah over. And Aja's personality is so fun for television, but I don't love reality competition to begin with. I'm one of those people who just wants us all to get under a tent and bake cakes and be happy. So Aja's not the competitor for me, but I think out of all those girls out there, she wanted it. She wanted it. And I think this was never going to be the bracket where Rue was going to choose which of the tie is going to go forward. This is too early to do that. I think that is a Chekhov's gun for either the second or the third bracket. And so I think that's something that we're going to see go off later. So I am very glad that it is Aja going forward, even if she's not like for me, because I do think like she is someone who is always going to bring it, who is going to give them hell, and who's going to just keep wanting it so much no matter what shows up.
And I kind of fall between the two spectra that between the spectrum that we put up. I started this competition kind of actively not liking Aja's personality. I said I don't like Aja's talking head. I like her as a competitor. And because I'm not going to deny that she did some incredibly talented things on every season she was on. Even, when she got shown up by Valentina, when Princess Disastra was not good, she still had great there it is. She still had great stuff that season. She also had great fight energy. But coming back, I mean, the Crystal of Asia was amazing. Coming back for All-Star, she impressed right out the gate with her talent show. Her fashion references have always been impeccable. So I would never say that she wasn't talented. But I just, I really had trouble with how combative she was. And I still to this day think that she shoots herself in the foot a little bit when she gets confrontational, sort of not being able to be wrong or say like, wasn't I a wild child? Didn't I just sort of run my mouth a little bit? But some things that I've seen that really, I mean, like now her competition is even more flawless. And I'm just like, she is a killer on say she is an icon of the Drag Race pantheon. Like she really is just so talented. But seeing her do a lot of her conflicts differently, and the best example is the most recent one, she could have addressed Michelle a lot of different ways when Michelle gave essentially the one bad critique, and it wasn't really bad. It was just the one thing about this outfit, but like that is a thing where she could have said, she could have stopped and said, well, here's why I had to do it, or like they didn't give us enough time, or these were the only wings that fit. Like, what do you expect? There were so many ways any queen could have addressed this, and even not that combative, but just like kind of hemmy-hawgy excuses or apologies, or, you know, I'll do it better for you next time. There's so many personality traits that come through when you get a critique that, in this case, it was like one of the worst critiques of the night, which I think is fantastic because it just shows everybody did so good. But it was where the show point out, and to Andrew saying, I love the Pokemon looks that she did. They were all incredible.
I don't think all the Pokemon looks.
Every one of them was a fucking
Yeah,
Pokemon
they
look.
really all
But,
were.
like, it's okay. You got two.
You know, there have been so many ways to push back on judges or to answer those questions, and it reveals a lot about your personality. And the fact that Aja just went right to confidence and joy and humor in herself, you know, acknowledging that the critique was what it was, and that, you know, drag is it was a very yes and for such a negative, or not such a negative, but for what was clearly a negative spin on the situation.
And what she would have always taken so negatively.
Yeah, like she would have gone back and freaked out. And it was just so great to see. I also saw her post this really long letter, basically, in clearly what was response to standard Aja hate plus now physical attacks on her physical form, and just transition is so fucking difficult to go through, and I imagine being opposite somebody like Bosco, who is in a very different place in her transition, and who gets so much love for being a woman. And, you know, one of the things Audra talked about is that she has not had FFM yet. You know, she's in a different place in her journey, but she just talked about this all again. Like she could have said like, fuck all of you, you know, and been really angry, and it would have had every right to be. I wouldn't have criticized her in that particular moment. But what I was so moved by was so much of it was just like, I love myself. I'm confident. I came here to do these things. I know the references. I know I'm talented. I know what I know about fashion. And her trilogy of appearances on this show exponentially raising her self-confidence. I think that for, you know, regardless of what her personality is like and whether it's for you or not, or for me or not, because I'm saying it's not always for me, learning that lesson of growing so much as a person and as a personality that you just can see yourself expand in confidence every time you show up again on screen. We should all take that lesson and be so lucky to sort of be able to grow like that.
What a Yelena Belova.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah,
baloney.
I really saw her growth in that moment, because I feel like the Aja from season 9 would have just ripped into Michelle like there was no other. And I think the way she handled that was really some of the best growth that I've seen off of the show in a while.
Yeah.
The fact that she made it into a joke and got Rue to cackle.
Yeah.
And like the classiest and most subtle way to say, no, this critique is dumb. Don't give me this dumb critique.
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna do that. It was really just a little bit of magical.
You know, I think one of the things that we often talk about is girls that serve big Rue energy. But the truth is, I think Aja serves big Michelle energy.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, you know, when you're a Michelle to no Rue, you can sometimes seem like a captain without a ship. And it can seem rudderless. But the truth is, Aja is what makes this show work. Because I think about I'm going to actually talk about another trilogy. I loved you using that term. The trilogy of absolute outright goddesses that came back in the last year, where we got to see Roxy, Alyssa, and Aja, 3 classic queens, come back in this new way. And I put Aja on that pedestal. I think she deserves that recognition. And it makes me wonder, when you're talking about these classic girls who are still in it and fighting against fandom in some ways, because like everybody's like, no, you're old, and like new fandom came in and they're like, I don't even remember you. And like, I dare Sugar and Spice to have the length career Aja's had in so many incredible industries in so many forms. I hope Sugar and Spice do. I dare them to. I don't doubt that they can. I dare them to. Not because they can't, but because it takes a whole lot of power and a lot of fight. And when I think about fight, the next bracket kind of seems a little bit like playing Mortal Kombat. I am so looking forward to this next bracket because I think a lot of these girls, this group of girls had a lot to lose. The next group of girls has a lot to prove. Mm-hmm. And that's different. Tina Burner wants to be a new girl. Mistress doesn't want to be that girl that came in fourth anymore. Nicole, I'm sorry. I'm so glad that you're excited for Nicole Paige Brooks. And it's a really big summer for her because it's Jurassic World because she's a dinosaur. And I'm really excited to see Carrie come back and hopefully not get too many opportunities to speak. And so the big thing that I am excited about with next week is those girls have a lot to prove to each other, not to me. I think every one of them's a queen, and I think every one of them is more talented than me. I'm not here to give them shit. But they're in a room full of queens. You gotta be royal.
I'm excited for next week. I think it's gonna be a delightful fest of shade, of meanness, of cattiness, of covetousness, because we can't say the other word on this.
You can't.
You know what?
You could. It's okay. It's okay. You can.
No, you did that. You should feel proud. You're proud of that one, Tori. You got one.
Oh my God, Tori just did Snatch Game and she played a bazooka.
But some of these girls, I'm just kind of so excited to see how they go. I'm also very excited because we've never had a situation like this where someone's coming back for an all-star season and the competitors do not know who this is. That is a very unique perspective that we're getting. Because sometimes we've had all-stars on not on here, but we've had other reality shows I've seen all-stars compete with almost on a regular season, not a specific all-star season. And it's just really fascinating that we get to have a perspective that they don't know who the fuck she is. And I think that's really cool. I think it's really cool that Lydia can kind of go in unknown a second time.
Oh, double unknown. Fascinating. Wow. Hey, another throwback. She's the ultimate forget-me-not.
Yeah.
And I am excited for Georges. I've been very much converted to the Georges train. I think she's incredible. I think she's a phenomenal performer. And I really do think it was seeing her last season on All Stars 9 where I did kind of get it. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer for me to connect to some performers than it does to others. But it was when she was crying from the advert challenge and she was just like, I just want to do good. I just want to make you proud, Rue. And it was really when I saw a little bit of that heart and I was like, no, I think I really get it. She just wants to make Mother Rue proud. She just wants to do well in these challenges. You can tell that she gets anxious over not being able to do well because if it's not in her wheelhouse, I think she gets a little nervous. But I hope she knows, no, she's a star, she's a performer, really, you can do this. Not that she needs me to tell her that,
Oh my God, thank you.
Why not?
Yeah, I would definitely say that this is the bracket that needs the least telling that they're amazing. I think they buy their own press, maybe. And yeah, I'm very excited. I think this is going to be the bracket where they're not so nice with the bottom queen badge give outs. I think shit's going to hit the fan. So I'm excited to see what that's like. Because I think that the girls did a pretty good job of dispersing them kind of evenly until the end even. But even then it was a little round robin-y. So I think that this one will be a little more, if we have an alliance, we're sticking to it. And I don't care if the other girls know.
I also love that Georges is scaled here. She's not that tall.
No, she's not the same height as Carrie and Mistress in a wig.
She's not tall. She's not taller than Mistress. She's not taller than Mistress.
Person there.
I'm really hoping.
Yeah.
that Mistress says something like, I'm not giving you my bag, Cena, because I just don't want you to have it.
Okay.
Like, that's what I want to
Since
hear.
you
I want to
guys-
hear, I just don't want you to have it.
I wasn't going to roast the graphics department with this, but since you guys brought it up too, as soon as I noticed this thing where this Irene level is completely flat instead of having the actual hair, I was like, I would never let this go into one of my covers.
Can I tell you
would
what I think they
actually
did?
I would make the hair myself. No, that's just where the image ends. And they
I thought they used
don't
the
have a
scale
full...
from the original, from the thing they filled it in. I thought they used like a frame and they just popped it in the frame.
I think they just don't have the full thing. But I would have if I had that, I would have drawn it in myself.
Just-
Because
or
I'm
just
I can't have it look like that.
Trim it in.
I say Tori would have
Right.
fixed it.
Yeah.
Tori and Kevo could both fix a whole lot of things about this.
Mama, call Tori and Kevo. We love this. We love you. We love this job. We love talking about these girls. We love doing this thing, and they deserve the best. Is all we're
They
saying.
do. Mhm.
All right, guys, you got to give me pink thoughts. I need pink thoughts like this is a Trixie Mattel disco. Tell me, pink thoughts coming up next week. We got Tina Burner. We got Lydia Butthole Collins. The butthole stands for B. We have got Georges. We've got Carrie Colby. We've got Nicole Page Brooks, who, by the way, I do not actually think you're a dinosaur. I just think you are reanimated from season 2.
Well,
She
hold
does
on.
look like on a gas tire here.
Yes, she does.
Mhm.
I think you just need to make sure you say her full name. It's Nicole Page Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia.
From Atlanta, Georgiasaurus.
Yeah.
And so then, of course, lastly, Mistress, guys, I need TK, I need Kevo, I need Tori. Guys, what do you think about Team Pink?
Oh, I'm tired already.
Yeah.
I am
Oh,
the
TK, is it hard when you're not the sassiest person on the screen? Is that
Oh.
what this is?
Just exhausting.
I had 10
No.
cocktails yesterday. I am ready to go.
Do you
and
want
I'm-
this level of sass spread out over 3 weeks? That's where I'm at. This is the one I don't know that I wanted to be 3 full weeks. It's not that they're not great, but yeah.
I will be very interested to see Mistress really is out there stumping for this season, being very old school drag race drama, and I could see that being funny if it's like, reminiscent of that, but I don't. If it's, I'll be interested to see how it goes. I'm already tired of the jokes about how nobody knows who Lydia is, but hopefully those are only one episode and not all 3. And of course, I'm so excited to reacquaint myself with Miss Nicole Page Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia. Tina Burner, I think, is always. I really think that that Tina Burner isn't talked about more like a Nina West is weird to me, because I kind of had always seen them as being similar when I only knew them before Drag Race. So,
Well, I mean, and their names.
yeah, Tina and Nina, they should do a show together. Anyway, and of course, Carrie and George is absolutely stunning. Mistress, I'm, second time's the charm, baby. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this will be an interesting one. I think there's a lot of big personalities here. I think this is where this bracket kind of belongs, is the one in the middle. It's going to get the juices flowing. It's going to get everyone to be like, okay, I love Bosco, but she's not coming back for 6 weeks. So why would I care? In the meantime, this is the one that's going to be like, okay, the shit's going to hit the fan. Let's go. And I'm excited to see what that means. I am excited for Tina Burner. I'm excited for a lot of these girls to see what happens. And yeah, team 2 in the pink. Let's go.
Ooh.
My petty personal commentary as a color artist, and it's a pettiness that genuinely goes back to childhood. I fucking hate this shade of pink.
Yeah.
This tepid, watered down, off-white pink is my least favorite shade. Whenever
Carnation
the Pink Ranger would appear in this shade of pink, I'd be like, I hate it. I prefer much closer to off-red, something that is a much more vibrant color. I don't like this almost white, and I know it's a really dumb thing. I just love really bright, saturated colors. So I don't love this. And that's already setting me off in a bad mood for Team Pink. But I am also very excited. We got to see Mistress go really far in her season, and that was our first live season, mine and NICO. And so it's really cool to see someone who got that close to the crown come back for an All-Stars like this really for the first time. Georges is someone we become so familiar with, so seeing her back is cool. Lydia being such an interesting anomaly and being here for it is a lot of fun. And there's a lot of girls I'm less familiar with who I haven't seen in a very long time. And so I think this is a really good mix of talent, and that I'm excited for. And of course, there's the intrigue of how is the gameplay going to go? So that is definitely keeping me on my toes. And I'm very curious to see how these girls will deal with the different challenges that are thrown at them.
Yeah.
I also just want to put out there that I am so lucky that you guys are looking at 5 of my favorite people. That's right. I said 5. I love looking at everyone here. And so one of the things that I think is so special about getting to do this show with people that I think the world of is I really did not appreciate Drag Race the same way until Tori joined our show and I got this additional perspective. And at this point, we're kind of like the All-Stars in talking about this shit because we talk about it so much. It is they should pay us, really, God. So
Monetized.
I want to sign off with number 1, what challenge you want to see this next batch of girls do and where we can find you. Jonah, you are just so handsome and you're right next to me. I'm going to start with you. What challenge do you want to see and where can everybody find you?
Number 1, you can find me places at Geek Jonah. Number 2, I'm going to answer something you did not ask me. My pick to win is still Bosco. I am so happy for her. Literally, I could not be more happy that Bosco dominated this first half of the competition as well as she did, and it really, for me, bodes well that she can take it all the way. So I'm hoping that she wins it. That's what I just need to say. I need to say that as I'm not the biggest Bosco fan probably, but in my heart I am. And 3, what challenge I want to see these queens do? You know, I kind of want to see all 3 of them do like a really standard fanfare acting challenge.
Oh, I meant Pink, but I love that.
Yeah, I meant Pink.
Oh, you said 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I said this group.
Oh, but no, cool. Then you want to see all 6 of them act? I'm in.
Yeah, give them an acting challenge. Give them an acting challenge. I want to see how that goes.
I love that. Also, Andrew, I see you say we love how we talk about it. You would rather us talk about it than any non-Drag Race girl. Thank you. You are also our favorite. So, Tori, I guess I got to know who you want to see win, what challenge you want to see the Pinks do, and wherever we can find you online.
Oh, well, you can find me online at SM Tori. That's Tori with an I. I'm still Denali girl. Sorry, not sorry. I until proven otherwise, that's my bet. That's who I want to win. I'm not 100% sure if I'd put money on it yet, but like in my heart of hearts, that's where she resides. And what do I want to see them do? I think this is the probably the most even group we would have to do a roast or stand up.
Word for
I
word,
really
my
do
answer.
believe that. I think if you save it for purple, it might get a little. I don't know if I feel as confident, but I think the pink team could kill it. So that's what I would love to see.
Tori, I don't know. You gave the word for word same final challenge. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
KEVO, who do you want to see win? Where can everybody find you? And what challenge do you hope to see from the Pink Girls? Oh, try to forget any handsome?
Mute.
Oh, right, because I sneezed. That's right. I wasn't even thinking. Who do I want to see win? I think I want to play a wild card on this one. I'm really excited for Team Purple. And I'm not even going to thirst after Alyssa Hunter with this moment. Instead, I'm going to say, let's say Cynthia. This is just a wild take. She's crazy. She's fun. That would be a really fun one to see win this. Challenges. I am really excited for the music challenges that we still have yet to come this season, especially because I am in such a musical mood. After we did our Eurovision coverage for this month, we did the grand final last night, And we ranked all 37 hopefuls last weekend. And you can check out the links for those in our comments, or you can check out the videos on our channel. But so I love stuff like that. They did that. Sound of Ruzik was like Eurovision that one time. They could do a real one for once. I don't know. But I am excited to see Rusical. I am excited to see more music challenges, especially after this week's went so well. I have such high expectations now. So pay up. Speaking of music.
Did you see where we can find you?
Did I? If
Say it
not,
again.
Kevo really. Kevo really, KEVO I did it.
Amazing. Speaking of people who you can always find me near, TK, your choice to win, the challenge you want to see the Pink Girls do, where everybody can find me thirsting after you. What's up?
I think we all know that I'm ready for the alien invasion.
Yes.
All Irene all the time. And listen, I can be proven wrong. I don't have a lot of hopes for changing my mind from Pink, but I have some suspicions from Purple. So we shall see if anybody sways. But for now, I am a loyal subject to this particular queen. For a challenge, I would like to see Pink do. You know, I would really love to see them do this show's version of Snatch Game, but I would like this show's version of Snatch Game to be a Model UN. And for where you can find me, I am at TK Accidental. Last but not least, big man, tell it to us.
You guys can check me out, as you guys know, NICO Action, NICOACTION. You guys can check out the music, NICO Action Music, NICOACTION MUSIC. However, you guys can also find me thinking that, you know, she's not my queen, but I would like to see either Denali or Aja win, personally. I think it might just be Ginger's turn because it wouldn't go any other way. Also, I just want to say, Andrew, thank you for pointing out that TK has the hairy thirst traps and I have the flexing thirst traps. We have two different kinds of thirst traps, but they complement each other.
So you can double fist them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Lord.
You know, and if I can't just have the roast that we talked about, you know, I would love like a good old fashioned stand up challenge. I think these girls could just do a good tight five because I think you're correct, Tori. I think if the Bettys tried to roast, it could get
It
different.
could go. It could go many. It could go Utica ways.
Ooh, and so I feel really good about all of that. You should check out everything we do, guys. Don't forget to check it out at HTML. That's Husbands Talking More or Less. You can check out the podcast version of this. It's so great. X is for podcast, comic podcast. We love doing it. X is for show. That's this thing here on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe to your heart's content. And hey, guys, while you're at it, you guys should check out the awesomeness that is Andrew and so many of our super commenters. We love you guys coming in. You are just as much one of us, making the show better every week. So when you like, comment, and subscribe, you become part of our family, and we just think you guys are the best. Speaking of our family, Andrew just said Mistress would be the best at a roast. Hey, yeah, I definitely get that vibe. I super agree. Until we get to see Mistress at a roast, you guys should definitely come back. We'll be doing comics, Drag Race, and more. But you got to do three things for us. Like, comment, subscribe. You got to do three things for yourself, and that's way more important. Number one, you got to be brave because it's a crazy world out there. Number two, you got to stay safe, right? Because it's also a crazy world out there, I guess. But number three, please be sure to evolve daily. Who you were yesterday, amazing. Who you are today, incredible. But who you are tomorrow, that's going to be Aja jumping off a box. And until we come back, we'll see you.
Bye.